Man, I gotta figure out how I can get back on Bar's good side so I can be in some videos again. Definitely do my best thinking when I'm on the toilet, though. Wow, man, it stinks in here. What on earth is that smell? You like that? Yeah, sorry, that was me. I had to borrow your bathroom, bro. But listen, can I be in one of your videos again, man? I've been reading the comments. People miss me. People want to see me. Can I just be in one at least? Wait a minute, let me get this straight. You blow up my bathroom, you stink up the whole upstairs, and now you're asking you want to be in the videos again. I mean, are you for real? Sorry, bro. You know how Taco Bell is, man. But listen, just give me one shot. One shot, and that's all I ask for. All right, man, you get one shot. And if I don't see at least 20 to 30 people in the comments of this video say Chad should stay, then it's time for you to go. How about that? All right, bro, bet. My peeps aren't going to let me down. I know they won't let me down. Don't let me down, guys. What's going on, guys? I hope you're having a great day out there today, guys. The plan is today, get a little shop time done. The weather outside is kind of lousy, so figured it'd be a good time to get a little work done on a car that I haven't been sitting around here and I haven't fixed it since the last bash. It's my only one currently that is not running, and that's the Outcast 6S here. Any guys that caught the video, last time I had this thing out, I'm getting some sort of, it sounds like a front diff problem, I believe. But this car's got a lot of great upgrades on it. It's got all the RPM arms all around on it. It's got the M2C Racing chassis under it. It is still running the stock BLX motor with the Arrma ESC. This is actually pretty new ESC, and it does have an upgraded servo and a lot of suspension work done to it. It has the M2C Racing valve kit in here. It's a great truck, and this thing has seen a lot of punishment over the last couple of years, but started having a lot of issues with diff, mainly in the front. The rear has been holding up pretty decent lately, but guys, the plan is today to get this thing up and running, go over a few other little things. Had a blast out there with the Outcast 4S now. And we just got the M2C Racing bash bar mounted up on here on the chassis. We're going to hopefully take this thing out this weekend, weather permitting, because we got a lot of that storm coming from us from the hurricane. And weather doesn't look too pretty. It's not nice today. So we'll see how it goes. But guys, also just got these in the mail yesterday. Beautiful pieces of work from M2C Racing. These are the front and rear shock towers for the Traxxas sledge up there. I'm going to be getting these mounted up on there, hopefully this weekend too. But plan is for now to get the Outcast back up and running and go over a few other things. Also, finally got a new body for the Outcast 8S. You guys seen in the last rant video with this thing, this poor thing, the body's seen its days. She was pretty much trash, so ordered a new body up for it and got a few nice stickers under there already. Got the old black sheep sticker, but the Outcast 8S is ready to roll again, and she's not flapping around in the wind anymore. All right, guys, well, I'm going to get the front diff opened up here and see if I can find anything obvious and kind of go from there. I got a big pile of diffs here, mixer of different pieces. I got a whole one here, but I know there's something wrong with it, and I don't remember what, but maybe I can use some parts out of it. All righty, well, that wasn't too hard to spot. Looks like I got a bent shock post, too. Looks a little bit tweaked. Might have to change that out, too. But anyway, guys, got the front diff pulled out of here. The input gear, I cannot see any markings or any teeth messed up on it. However, I first started looking at my front diff gear here. It's like, it looks okay. And a lot of times, guys, you got to keep a close eye and really, really look at these. Because as you start spinning it, you'll see right there, it gets really low. The whole top edges of the teeth are gone. And there's another spot here somewhere, too. But it is this gear. You guys can kind of get a better idea there. That looks normal. And then right there, they're all flattened off. So it is the gear. I'm going to dig through my parts here and see if I have one of these. I think that one I have inside the diff case is actually the same gear. But I'm going to pull it out here. And hopefully you can get this thing fixed back up again and have the Outcast 6S rolling again. All right, guys. Well, the Outcast 6S is a bust for today. It is that front diff gear, obviously. Everything else looks okay, but unfortunately, I don't have the gear. I have the EXB gears and stuff like that, and yes, I could swap everything over, but I'm not getting into that. I'm just going to order a new diff gear for it, and we'll fix it up and throw it back together and go from there. But we are now going to work on the Outcast 4S. We're going to do a couple little things here. And, you know, Great Lakes RC, I recently seen it on his channel and a couple other guys with the Outcast 4S here on something to help the steering and the turning radius on the Outcast 4S. And everybody's talking about removing this front sway bar. So we're going to give that a try. But first, we got to make one little modification here that's been driving me crazy. So we're going to go ahead and fix this problem and get rid of this extra connector because I'm never going to run this thing on two 2S LiPos. So let's alleviate a little bit of wiring. All right, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye to the old warranty. Even though Arrma has been pretty good, you know, with Horizon, with even, I've done this to other ones and had issues with ESCs, and they still warrantied them. So not too big of a deal, but we'll go ahead and say goodbye to that. And guys, do be careful when you're heating these up, especially for the solder gun or anything. If you get these too hot, they do like to melt and the bullet gets loose in there with these stock ones from the Arrma system. So just take your time, get them hot, get the good solder joint, but don't stay on there unnecessarily long. All right, well, now that all that unnecessary wiring is out of the way, a lot cleaner, not have stuff hanging off in here. I'm going to go ahead, fire this thing up, take it outside here for a moment. We'll do some circles and stuff just to see what it's like with the front sway bar installed, and then we'll take it off and see what kind of difference it makes. I've heard it kind of definitely increases the steering radius on this and helps the steering in general. Now, I don't have huge problems with the steering on this thing, but I'm kind of curious to see, honestly. All right, guys, we made it outside here. I'm going to steer and drive with one hand here, but we'll do some donuts here. So this is the steering radius on this now, which is not bad at all. So we'll see. We'll take... See, I can't steer. Just hit myself in the foot. All right, well, we made it inside after my spectacular driving skills outside here. We're going to go ahead and remove this front sway bar and give it a try out there. Now, I drove this thing obviously twice now. So in maybe the upcoming video also, maybe I'll notice a difference more. But we'll go out and take it after I take the sway bar off, see what the turning radius is like on it and how it kind of feels. And we'll give it a bash and see how it's like. All right, well, super easy to do. There's two screws down here that hold the little steel plate in. I guess it's not even steel, it's plastic. But anyway, two screws that hold that in down there you remove. And then you pull out the two long screws holding the sway bar out of the A-arm. And everything pops right out of there. So the front sway bar is gone. Let's take it out, see what she's like now. Also, guys, as far as any other upgrades I'm going to do to this thing, I don't really see too much here in the foreseeable future. I got the M2C bash bar on here. I'm going to take it out and give it a bash with that. But, you know, we got the sway bar out of here now. We're taking it out and see what it's like. But the only other thing I really feel like I need to change is this front suspension. The back feels great. The back actually feels pretty decent. But the front is definitely very soft. So I don't want to really increase the spring, the rebound. I just want to increase the dampening. So I'm going to go with a heavier shock fluid in here and see what that feels like. Because as you guys can see, I mean, it bottoms out and sags down really easy. So I'm going to increase that a little bit. I got to find out what the stock fluid in there is and go up a little bit. But anyway, let's go out and see what this thing's like without the sway bar now. All right, well, we made it back outside here. We're going to go ahead and see what this thing's like in this. I gotta say, I don't know if it's just my imagination. You guys can look at the video and decide for yourself, but it feels like it has a lot tighter turning radius now. I do not have the body clipped on. But the point was with removing the sway bar was to basically alleviate a little bit of pressure off the servo so it can steer a little bit easier. And honestly, it feels quite a bit better. Might have a winner. Well, guys, I honestly had my doubts that it was going to affect it that much, but the steering radius felt a lot tighter, and I'll have to go back and review the footage. But anyway, I mean, just from first impressions, I mean, it felt tighter and it felt more responsive, even on the slower turning. Obviously, high speed, you know, you're not going to notice it as much, but the lower speeds is where you notice that steering, and it felt good. So take it out for a bash and see what it's like. But one other thing to keep an eye on, guys, that I noticed with this, you see that right there? These the clips for the battery, I don't know what you really call these things, but anyway, part of your battery strap here, when these get pulled the whole way down to the bottom, they like to rub. And if they get too tight, I could imagine they would end up wearing through like it's already started wearing into mine, causing a problem. So just keep an eye on those things. I don't know how I like these bigger clips on this setup with the center drive shaft like this, you know, with just a regular strap with one loop. Worked fine on all the other cars. I don't know. I might honestly get rid of these because I don't like that is happening. But anyway, next thing I'm going to work on is messing with the shock oil. But I got to get some new shock oils because most of my normal stuff, like my 60s and 70s and 80s and stuff, are all gone. So I got to get some new oil. And in the meantime, I'm going to find out what shock oil I need to put in here by finding out what's in here now. So I'm going to go from there. But definitely seemed like a help. And if you guys haven't checked out Great Lakes RC, that's who I seen this first. He was doing this to his, and he was saying it felt a lot better. So I figured I'd give it a try to mine. But next thing up, take her out for a rip and see how she holds up. All right, everybody. Well, I think we're going to call it a day on a little shop time here. Didn't get as much done as I hoped. I was wanting to get the Outcast 6S fixed up too, but unfortunately, I don't have the parts to do it. But did get a little bit of stuff done on the Outcast 4S. Got my leads cut down, so now I only can run one battery pack, which is all I do anyway. Removed the front sway bar. Definitely feels better on the steering. And take this thing out for another little bash and see how she goes. But so far, the Outcast 4S, on the last 2 runs I've had with it, have been a blast. I'm really enjoying the truck, and I can't wait to test out the new M2C Racing bash bar here and see how that helps out. It'll make me feel a little bit better about sending this a little heavier down at the skate park, because as you guys seen in that skate park, like, I wasn't trying to get too crazy because I've just had bad luck with the chassis in the past and breaking them. So this will make me feel a little more confident and see how she goes. But that's going to do it today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed little shop time. But until next time, y'all, be safe. Be careful out there. Peace out, everybody.